Welcome back to another video. So, as you can see from the screen, we have a ton of new portals that are out. It's a lot of new heroes that just came out this week. And it's the Lunar New Year as well, so to any, I would say Chinese who are watching this, Happy Chinese New Year. For those who are going on break, happy holidays. I myself am a Chinese and I'm going on break as well, so going to be enjoying the next 1 week stress-free from work. So I wanted to do a separate video for each of the new heroes that got released, but I thought, you know what, I think it'll be better if we have a look at each portal together in one whole video, because I think they all tie into almost about the same. I mean, not to say the same in terms of how their characteristics are or what their specials do, but I would say these are all new meta heroes, so to speak, that might make or break a certain meta. So let's have a look at all the new heroes that are up, starting with the first one. So Natica is the new 5-star construct hero. So it's the new blue construct hero, 5-star wizard. I think Gilak as well was a wizard as well, so that's interesting. So each of these construct, whenever they get hit by normal attacks or special skill, their construct percentage counter increases, and then they depending on what the construct core is, they will either deal damage, apply an ailment, or heal themselves. In which case, Natica here, with a fully charged repair core, they boost the health of all allies by 25%, and it's scaled depending on the charge of the core. So with a dodge Aether power as well. Pathfinder's Compass, average speed, recovers 45% health for all allies. Now 45% here, again, I gotta add, because of the legendary troops, it might seem a little bit more, so don't downplay 45%. It is actually a very huge amount of health. Increases the mana of nearby allies by 33%. Wow. It was 30% in the beta. I think they increased this. Nearby allies get plus 40% mana generation for 4 turns. The caster and nearby allies get plus 50% critical chance for 4 turns. Wow. So one thing to note, only the caster gets plus 50% critical chance. The allies are the ones beside. So if you put Natica as a tank, the flanks will be the one who gets increased in mana by 33%, and they will get the plus 40% mana generation. So Natica herself will not get the mana generation or the mana increase, which will make her really strong. I do believe that's the case. Someone needs to check this out and confirm it, but I do believe that is the case. 33% mana is crazy though. So if you look at it from a fast speed perspective, assuming you're getting it to 7 tiles, 33% is 2 tiles. So that means that if you get to charge Natica at whatever her speed is, if your flanks are a different color, let's say whatever that you're flanking Natica with, you only need 6 tiles if they are both fast. If they are average, it's even better, because in average you just need 6 tiles as well. So wow, this is crazy. I believe 33% makes even average speed heroes require only 6 tiles to fire, assuming they're off color than Natica. Wow, holy shit. This is a really strong, I would say, future tank that people might consider, as well as, I don't know if it's a flank. I don't know if it's flank worthy, I'm not too sure, but average speed as a tank, this one is crazy. 45% health for all allies, jeez. So that's, Natica, wow. I can't believe they actually did release her like this, and it's even better. I mean, 40% mana generation for 4 turns and 50% critical chance for 4 turns. Holy shit. This guy is awesome. I mean, you can even use this for Titans if you need it, just because of this 50% critical chance. I'd say a really well-rounded hero. I was talking about this, in a chat and discussion with my alliance as well. That what happens if you have like if you get two Nauticas, like you don't have to worry about health gain, because you can run Nautica and like two Nauticas as your off color support, and then you can run basically a 3 stack, and you get so much mana because you just need to focus on blue. Jeez, you can even use slow speed heroes in this. So let's say slow speed heroes require 11 tiles. So 33% of 11 tiles. You just basically get 9 tiles, and you're fine with that as long as you get your blues first, of course. But if you get your blues, then you can run a blue slow speed hero in between Nautica, as long as you're flanking him with Nautica. So if you run let's say Cow, for example, the slow War of the Three Kingdoms heroes, you just need 9 tiles because Nautica will give the rest of it. So interesting, very very interesting. Alright, that's Nautica. I'd say this is one of the highlights for a tank, for the next best tank, probably if blue becomes a bit more prominent. The next one we have the Dune summons. Now Hathor has got a costume, Anubis has a costume, Ma'at has a costume. Let's just say that the costumes now give Hathor the ability to run at 6 tiles. Now, one thing I have to add about these costumes is that if you see from the portal, you see that the costumes have this additional passives. This one where it's guaranteed to fire instead of having 50% chance, and you have the resistance against mana generation. If you get the costume, your regular side will also get the bonus. Just as a reminder for that. The reason why they don't put it here is that in future cases where the costume is not featured, for example in the Black Friday summons or in the Solstice summons or whatever other fancy summons they want to do, if you're only getting Hathor itself, you won't see this the other passive bonuses. But if you do get the costume, you do get all these passive bonuses, which is really awesome. And Hathor, I think now with the ability to run at 6 tiles with a Bard, Hathor is going to be crazy. Hathor is going to be crazy good, especially when you pair it with like Pepper Flame, or you pair it with the War of the Three Kingdoms family. Is going to be insane. If you look at Ma'at, she gets more damage and more defense down, just 1% extra defense down. But this passive, when this character casts their special skill, any of their passive skills that grants extra effects on cast have 3 chances to activate, which means you have up to 3 times the chances to kind of activate her special skill, which seems pretty decent, I guess. And she also gets 5% mana each time an enemy casts a special skill that boosts health directly, so that's really insane as well. You can speed up Ma'at, which by itself is already quite fast. So I think Ma'at costume is really good. The Anubis costume is the one that I thought was pretty just meh. Apart from the poison damage being a lot now, 933 poison damage as opposed to 735. I don't really see anything too good with Anubis, apart from the fact that he now acts as a dispeller as well, because instead of 60% chance to dispel the latest dispellable buff, with this passive it is now 100%. So you can use this as sort of like a clutch dispeller at certain times where there's a certain buff that you want to kind of timing trigger, and then use Anubis to kind of dispel that kind of buff. So that's also very interesting. I like the Dune's costumes, although it is still, as always, something that is not, there's nothing new basically with these costumes. Nothing creative, nothing changed in terms of, it's all numbers change in the special skills. But if you're looking to min-max, then it is something worth considering. If you're looking at something to be a bit more creative and introduce a new playstyle, then maybe not so much. Then we have the Three Kingdom summons, where we have the Scorpion Queen, Xie Zijing. So Xie Zijing is a 5-star purple fighter with the Journey family. So 50% bonus for 1, 2, or 3 heroes, 50%, 75%, and 100% chance to increase the duration of each status effect that is cast by the hero by 1, 2, or 3 turns. And you also get this passive where you get mana on buff receive. Every time you get a buff on her, a buff or a stack, you get a 50% chance to gain 10% mana, which can make her very fast. And health recovery on buff receive, so you have a 50% chance to restore 10% health as well. Wrathful Sting, fast speed. This special skill ignores dodge effects. Dispels buffs from the target and nearby enemies. Target and nearby enemies receive 1257 poison damage over 3 turns, which cannot be cleansed. So, if you take into account her Journey Family effect, by herself, there is a 50% chance to increase this poison damage to 4 turns, which means it will be so this by itself, it's already 419 poison damage per turn. You get to increase that duration by 1 by herself, and if you run Changi and say Shao Jing, for example, together with her, it's a 100% chance to deal double this poison damage over 6 turns, which is crazy. Not forgetting that she ignores dodge effects, so Shao Wujing immediately gets kicked out the door here. And she dispels buffs from the target and nearby enemies before putting the poison damage, which means you get rid of any ailment blocks. For example, as we just saw Hathor giving ailment blocks, you can kind of dispel that first before you apply the poison damage. And this makes her really, really one of the best dispellers in the game right now, especially with the ability for her to ignore dodge. If you compare this with like Timaeus, for example, Timaeus does not ignore dodge. You can still dodge Timaeus's dispel, but you can't dodge Xie Zijing's, I don't know, that's how you pronounce it, I guess, Xie Zijing's dispel, because she ignores dodge effects first. So that's really, really crazy. You can't even like put a dodge on your taunt, because your taunt will just get dispelled and you still get poison damage to 3 as well. So Xie Zijing, really, really strong. I think she will be one of the forerunners as one of the best dispellers, and can even see play on flanks as well. I think she's really, really strong. I like the fact that Changi and Erlang Shen are the ones being featured here, which are a good trio of featured heroes in order for you to do any pulls in this portal. So yeah, the final one with the Lunar New Year happening, we obviously have a seasonal summons, and at some point I remember SG saying that they were never going to feature Xiao Tu and Lao Hu in any other portals anymore apart from special portals. I think they went back on their word, because I remember there was at one point they were saying that you had to pull Xiao Tu and Lao Hu in the initial seasonal summon for Lunar New Year before they are gone and replaced by different seasonal heroes. But I guess that's not how SG works anymore. They need more moolah. So anyways, Ching Long. You know what's funny? When they put Ching Long here in the beta, I always think about that vegetable that Chinese people used to eat. It's called Ching Long Chai, which is essentially green dragon vegetable. So when I saw Ching Long here, I was like, yep, we're gonna have some vegetable tonight. So Ching Long, 5-star green dragon wizard of the Lunar Year family. So the Lunar Year family features different Lunar Year animal heroes. Each Lunar Year animal grants a different bonus to the members of the Lunar Year family when paired with at least one other Lunar Year hero. So if you have 2 Lunar heroes together, regardless of their animals, so this one gives additional plus 15% critical chance. Interesting. Wow. They also do have this same passive, disable minion abilities. So if you're trying to bring Water Pipe or Lady of the Lake against Ching Long, you're in for a bad time. Confidence strategy deals very fast speed, deals 160% damage to all enemies, steals the latest dispellable buff from all enemies and randomly distributes them on allies. Wow. All allies get plus 8% attack per transferred status effect buff for 2 turns. Wow. Holy crap. Okay, so what this essentially means is if you have, let's say, for example, any hero that gives an attack buff, I would say, okay, any hero that gives a, let's say, any buff that happens. So if you give it to 5 and you use Ching Long to attack, you're basically giving plus 40% attack for all allies, which is crazy. 160% damage to all enemies, very fast. That is just, not too significant, but steals the latest dispellable buff. That means you get to steal whatever buffs it did, and you get an additional attack boost from that. Ching Long is pretty good. Ching Long is pretty good. Alright, let's look at Gong Yu. Gong Yu is a 5-star yellow cleric. So he does have an additional additional passive here as well. This character recovers 10% health when they receive a status ailment or a negative stack. Wow. I guess for slow Luna heroes, they needed to give them an extra survivability kind of passive to make sure that they are able to charge their special skill. Rejuvenating Elixir, slow speed. All allies get plus 54% defense and a further 5% increase every time they are hit during 3 turns. So I believe this goes up 6 times at the very least. So you can go up to about 84% defense. All allies recover 1000 health after 3 turns. If the effect is removed or replaced before the duration ends, recovers 1400 health instead. Wow. All allies gain 25% mana after 3 turns. If the effect is removed before the duration ends, gains 35% mana instead. The effect cannot be replaced with itself. I like that they introduced that in so that you can't just spam this for rush wars and get everybody up just by matching yellow tiles. Wow, this guy is actually quite strong for a slow speed hero. Given the fact that we just saw Natica being able to increase mana for their flanks. You can even use this now it's even a consideration to even use slow heroes in regular war, just because of how strong Natica is if you have Natica. So I think Gong Yu is really strong. You can even use him for rush. You can even use him, I would say, in offense for equalizer if you get to fire him. It's actually really strong. I kind of like Gong Yu's design. Obviously 1400 health with the legendary troop makes it pretty significant. I mean, it's not a percentage of health, but 1400 health still is quite a lot here. And the kicker, obviously, 35% mana gain if he gets dispelled before the turn ends, before 3 turns is over. Wow, Gong Yu is really strong. So that's the whole bunch of new heroes that are coming out this week. It is a Thursday right now, so I don't think there will be any other new heroes that are released. We do have some pools, I guess, that we can just spam on. I am still not intending to spend as much, so I do not intend to really buy any pools for the time being. I don't think these are all, in my opinion, something that is worth chasing. I mean, to me, it feels like it's not worth chasing. I don't know. So, I don't know. Let's see what we can get. I mean, I'm not hoping for much, but since we have pools, we might as well just do it, right? So even here, I mean, I've never gotten Hathor before. I've tried to get Hathor, but looks like we're not getting anything today. And the final one with 3 pulls for this. Can we, I really want Shal. Shal is the main one here, but I don't think we're getting any legendary heroes this time. Who knows? Maybe next time when I have the urge to kind of spend again. I don't really have the urge to spend anymore in this game. I've just been cruising on my own, in my own pace. Steadily doing well in the top alliances so far, so yeah, I don't really feel the need to actually do much pulls. But anyways, that's only for me, doesn't apply to you. So good luck if you're aiming to pull in any one of these portals. I don't think you can go wrong in any of these portals, although if you ask me for my personal preference, I think Covenant Summon is still one of the best portals to pull. So good luck if you're trying to do any pulls, and congratulations if you have gotten any of these new heroes. Do let me know in the comments what do you think about all the new heroes that are coming out. I'm interested to hear what you think about Natica, if you have any experience playing with her or against her. Let me know what you think about Costume Hathor or Costume Ma'at. Xie Zijing as well. I mean, she's really strong. And also the new Luna heroes. So yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Hope to see you around, and keep on grinding. GG.